Hello everyone, in this video we are going to create this animated input field using React Native Animated API. So what I have done here is that when I press this input field, the placeholder will transform and also the font size will be reduced, and you can see that border color and the width will be also changed. So let's see how we can do this. Alright, let's get started. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a new component. First I'm gonna create a component folder, and inside that let's add component.tsx. So let's create our folder, our component. Alright, let's import it. Looks alright. So instead of text, let's add text input from React Native. Let's set a placeholder for now. Let's add enter email. Okay, so I'm gonna add a background color over here as orange maybe. Okay, so let's do some styling to the view. I'll name it as container. So here let's set a background color as white and border radius as 10 and a width of 80. Alright, so we need to add some padding to the input field. So for that I'm gonna define a style in property here as well as input. Let's add padding over here. Alright, so here let's add a justify content as center to center our input field over main axis. Alright, looks okay so far. So now let's add our animation. So now what we need to do is that we need to animate this, we need to transform this placeholder on the y-axis. So ideally we can't change this placeholder's position. So what we are going to do is that let's create a new text component. So first I'm going to create a view. Inside the view, let's add a text component. So this is the component we are going to animate, or rather move on the y-axis. Okay, so let's say it's as label. Let's add it to the props and let's pass it from the parent component. I'm gonna create an interface over here. It's a label and it should be a string. Alright, so from here let's say label as enter email. Okay, so I'm gonna remove this placeholder, and here let's add some styling, and I'll name it as label container. I'm gonna position absolute, make it absolute, and adding padding same as 20. Alright, so let's do the animations. So I'm gonna animate this view. So let's add animated API. So here let's add a ref value. I'll name it trans y. So the initial value will be animated value. So I will make it as 0. Let's see how it goes. If we might need to change it in the later. So let's go with 0 for the moment. So here then we have to add that to the stylings. So inside the transform, let's translate y, and here it should be trans y.connect. Okay. So far nothing is breaking, so let's add the animation. So this animation should start when the user press this input field. In the other words, when this input field is focused. So in our text input, we have a property we can use as on focus. So I'm gonna add my method, or rather the function, as handle focus. So inside this we can add our animation. Okay, so the initial value will be, oh, not the initial value actually, the value we are gonna change is this one, and here to value, let's add 20 and see. I'm gonna use native drive, so this animation will gonna run in UI thread. Let's see. Okay, 20 is not enough. Let's add 40. Looks all right. So now we have to animate over the x-axis as well. So before that, let's add the duration to the props as well. So I'm gonna add the initial value as 20 in case the parent component value is not defined. Here it will be a optional one, and it should be a number. Let's add 300 milliseconds. Okay, so far all good. Let's add the transform x value as well. Okay, so I'll name it trans x. So what we are going to do is that based on this value change, we are going to change x value as well. So we are going to interpolate. Let's get clear and let's add this in as well. This is okay. So the input range is from -40 to 40. So this should be in increasing order. So the output range, when trans y is 40, our trans x should be, let's say, 20. And when trans y is 0, our trans x should be 0. Let's add it over here. Okay, let's see how it works. Okay, it looks all right. So the next problem we are having is now we need to reset the animation. So this label should come to the placeholder's place. So how we are going to do is that we need to in the input our text input component, we have another prop called on blur. So when the input is blurred, we are gonna run the animation again in the reverse order, I would say. should be blur. Okay, let's add both of them here, or let's add this to the bottom. Okay, so I'm gonna repeat the same thing over here, but don't worry, we are gonna refactor this same repeated code later. So this should be 0 and the rest is gonna be the same. Okay, so now we have to trigger this method. So what I'm going to do is, if we can dismiss this keyboard, automatically this input field will be blurred. So what I'm going to do is, inside the parent component, I'm going to add touchable without feedback. Here we are. I'm going to use on press, and let's say and keyboard dismiss. Let's add the function, and let's copy this. Looks all right. Nothing is breaking. Okay, it's working fine. Okay, cool. So the next thing what we need to do is, let's animate the border as well. So now you need to keep in mind that adding the border colors and changing the width of the border is not going to handle in the UI thread. So we need to do that in the JS thread. So let's add border width as the ref. So the initial value I'm gonna set as 1. So that should come over here. It should come over here actually. So border width. Okay, now we need to add animated. Okay. Okay, now we have the initial border width now. We need to add border color as well. We are gonna animate that one too, but for the moment let's add black. That's the default value anyway. Right. So let's add the border width. So first of all, let's do some refactoring over here, and I'll name the new function as animate transform. Let's add this code over here, and to value I'm gonna get it as parameter. It should be a number. The rest is gonna be the same. So here I'm gonna say animated transform, and the value should be 0. And I'm gonna remove this. Same here. animated transform initial value is, or the true value is gonna be 40. Let's say it's working. Yeah, it's working. All good. So we are gonna repeat the same kind of a thing again. Animate border width. We have the true value, and here we need to add border width. All right, but now we can't use this. We have to use the JS thread. Now this one, we need to trigger. It's the same way we triggered this transform value. So when the input field is blurred, it should be 1, and when it is focused, let's add 3 and see how it works. So we have already added that. So let's see. Okay, if it is too much, we can reduce it to 2. Okay, so let's change the color as well. So to change the color, let's interpolate. Let's copy this, and the initial value, or the first value gonna be 2 and then 3, or is it, oh, it's 1 and 2. So here 1 and 2, and the border width is 1. The color should be, let's say, black, and when it's 2, it's let's add some color over here, and let's add this. So instead of black, let's make it gray. Let's see. Okay, looks all right. And so the next thing what I'm gonna do is, oh sorry, this is not added. Okay, now all right, the border color is changing now. So let's remove this, the border color, the initial value, let's make it 0. Let's see. Okay, now it's better, I think. So the next thing what we need to do is to change the label color. So again, I'm gonna use the interpolate. I'm gonna say label color. So here it's gonna be black. Here I'm gonna change this one. So let's add animated as well here. Okay, let's see. Yep, it's working. Initially it's gray, then it goes back to black. So yeah, let's add that to here. Label color. Oh, I think we can't use that value over here. So here I'm gonna say label color animation. Let's edit from the parent component. Initial value, let's add as black. Okay, here it should be full color. Okay, looks all right. So the next thing we are going to do is we need to decrease the font size. So I'm going to repeat the same thing. Font size, and initial value will be 40, and then I'm going to reduce it to 12. Right, that's it. Looks all right. We can type as well. Okay, now here we have a problem. So here we need to make sure that when the value is there in the input field, our animation doesn't work. So what I'm gonna do is we need to add the text. Should be a string, and initial value will be empty string. So I'm gonna add text over here, text, and here let's add on change text, and change text here. Set text as the input value. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is, so when we blur, we need to make sure the text is empty. If it is not empty, let's return. Let's see how it works. Okay, it's all right. All right, it's working. So let's get the performance monitor as well. Okay. Looks all right. All right, that's it from this video. So I hope you guys have enjoyed it and learned something from it. So like this video, add your comments to the comment section, and share this video with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe this channel. See you guys soon.